Can't win them all, doggy. Ayo, Dipset versus LOX nurses was on standby, then out came the hearses. Shanked us, spanked us, paused, no thanks to y'all. Sandman shoulda yanked us off.
What's poppin', you guys? We got so much to talk about this morning. You are now linked into House of Harlem. I'm talking about this morning. I'm ready for the next day to come in. Let me start over again, you guys. Y'all are locked in the House of Harlem studio. I appreciate you guys. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe. This is the hottest show on YouTube, giving the best commentary, making sure we locked in with the artists and all that. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't, and make sure you hit that like button, because it's about to go down. Listen, man, we so real and thorough in here. We had a whole nother page that had to make another page because we keep it so real and do our research and present it to you, and we get shut down every time. But just like Craig said, I'm gonna be quiet, but I'll be back again. All right, House of Harlem, we're gonna let the room fill up a little bit, you know, because we have a lot to speak about. Yes, FDA just approved, aka Pfizer vaccine. And y'all, I got a little jewel to drop on y'all, because you know that they changed the name, right? And we're going to give you the inside scoop of the person who's behind all of this, all of the approval. So make sure y'all tune in because it's about to go down. All right. And majority of our show is definitely going to, we're going to talk about the Hoist Tep, Brother Polight. Brother Zion just recently did an interview with Tasha K. And if y'all don't know, Brother Zion, yes, was on House of Harlem TV. We have much respect to him. So we definitely going to have to put our videos up because we got to make sure that we're all being held accountable within our community. So we want to make sure that Brother Zion's beliefs line up with what he's saying right now. And we'll let you guys be the judge of it. So stay tuned, stay locked in for this weekend because we're going to replay the video of our interview. But I must say, me personally, I have nothing but respect for Zion. Outside of one person, to be honest with you, he is probably the most respected person that I've ever interviewed. I love his position within the community. I love his realism. Way before he got on Tasha K, I love what he has done for the children in our community. That is very important. Very important. Taking them out to the museums and giving them a real history lesson from the real perspectives based off of his studies. And going in there and actually being their tour guide. I mean, outside of teaching them Hebrew and so many other things. So big up to Zion Lexx. It is well deserved. But most importantly, I just like his style. He's always one of those guys that, yeah, he can be a pastor or priest or whatever his title is, but he keeps it real. And when he gives his examples for the Bible, he's giving you realism, something that we can relate to on a day-to-day. So I really appreciate that about him. So y'all stay tuned because you know we locked in with everybody. So we're going to play his video because we've already interviewed him long time ago. And we want to say shout out to him. We definitely want to have him back on because I want to speak about the science behind women getting their menstruals. I want y'all to listen to this really good. There's a lot. I've been having conversations in regards to young women getting their menstruals and some people using that as validation to say that they're ready to have sexual intercourse. So I did reach out to Brother Zion to have this conversation to where he could possibly break it down on the biblical terms, and inside of the Bible is still scientific as to why or why not that is the case. I'm not buying it. There's some young women out here who are having their menstruals at 10 and 13, and I'm not buying or using that, although it is nature, right, for her to do this, and this is part of her reproductive system. I do not believe that a 10-year-old or a 13-year-old should be having sexual intercourse. You can't convince me otherwise. It doesn't matter. All right. Who's to say that the preparation, that's the beginning, that beginning stage is just not preparation? So we're going to dig deep into that. And I'm going to be talking about that for the next a week or two. We're going to have to break that down. There's a lot of old ass men out here using that as some damn excuse. A lot of Muslims use that as an excuse because it is said that Aisha from the Quran was given to the Prophet Muhammad at 10 years young, and you got men in the Middle East marrying and having sexual intercourse with 10-year-olds and 12-year-olds. Yes, you best to believe it, based off of just that story alone. In addition to, she may have her ministration and that is nature. She's ready to breed, so to speak. So we're going to have to talk about that elephant in the room, along with sexual abuse within our communities. Brother Polight obviously is on the forefront right now. Listening to Brother Zion and Tasha K in their interview, and just hearing, and we know we don't even have close to the details of what actually transpired, but just even hearing that this young lady, 14 years of age, possibly 13, was drugged, had so many drugs in her system to the point where if they would have waited any longer, she would have died. That alone makes my stomach turn. And so we're going to keep this story live. We're going to keep this story live, and we're going to support that mother and her daughter. Salute to the mother. I made mention the last time I spoke about this story, which was the first time, that, we have to wait till the story unfold. But I had questions, and one of the questions, the stories didn't add up, and I made mention of it, is like, how could a 14-year-old even get into a club? Like, certain things you just got to use your head and use common sense. But let me tell y'all something. It's about to go down, all right? Make sure y'all stay locked in, because we got to talk about it. We got to talk about it. Shout out to the people who are filling the chat. Shout out to you guys. I appreciate you each and every time you come on here to chop it up with us. It's not a game out here. As y'all know, our governor, Mayor Cuomo, has stepped down officially. He is no longer the mayor. And we're going to talk about who's going to be the new mayor, who she is. We don't know too much about her. I do know this much. She supports the all day around masking. I do know that much. And she just recently selected I want to say a black person as what is that word they use? What type of mayor? Lieutenant mayor. I believe that's what they lieutenant governor. So we're going to talk all about that. I don't know, man. I feel like, these things are very orchestrated. They're very strategic. I could be wrong, but that's just my feeling. That's just my intuition. Nothing right now surprises me under the sun. And it is what it is. House of Harlem is always locked in with the music. As y'all know, we promote a lot of artists. We interview a lot of artists. But we also are locked into a lot of known artists. So we pretty much are getting our feet wet out in the street now that COVID is open. So we are attending a lot of events and are constantly behind the scene or on the scene. And so we tell you guys to stay locked in with us on Instagram as much as possible, to kind of see, some work, kind of see what the artists are doing out there. Today we did attend, surprisingly, because I didn't really want to go out there, but we wound up attending Dave East's video shoot. It was dope. I appreciate his music because he is evolving and he's not going with the typical drill type of sound, although I do appreciate that. But sometimes it can just be on overload, and so we have to balance that out. I do love my drill. R.I.P. to Pop Smoke. Based off of my research, I believe that's something that he started and founded. But let's get to it. Man, you guys, I hope y'all are safe out there with this Rona still going around. I've heard through the grapevine that there is literally over 1,000 variants. All right, 1,000. So if the if the government is not telling you to, or is not promoting as much as possible the importance of detoxing, eating healthy, and exercising, then I don't know what. I don't know what. That should be primary before anything. Whoever wants to take the slabber jabber, I'm fine with it, no judge. And whoever don't, I'm fine with it, no judgment. But I do know this much. You must keep that immune system up. It is imperative. It's imperative. You don't keep that immune system up, that's when all hell breaks. Are you still going to possibly get ill? There's a possibility, right? I mean, right? Like having a flu or having a cold. But when you have a strong immune system, that is the deal breaker. You know, that's going to determine how long you're going to be sick for, and that can possibly determine whether or not you're going to survive from it, which the chances are high. But it's like, who wants to sit there and be sick for weeks on end when you can kind of recover from things real fast? You can ask any immunologist about that. I mean, is a no-brainer, right? These are certain things that we should know. Now, Brother Polight. I tell you, man, people, and I've said this. I've mentioned this 2 years ago. I've mentioned it every so often. I don't care what great rhetoric you have, what information you were able to read and regurgitate and recite. I don't care what PhDs you have. Man, common sense trumps everything. Intent trumps everything. Your intent is what's important to me. Point blank and period. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Now, rape is a very big allegation, and there are brothers and sisters who have been in jail for years. I'm talking about years, and had their case either reopened and they've had new substantial evidence, or have taken certain DNA tests and come to find out that they did not commit the crime. They did not commit the rape, right? So with that being said, I am the type of person that when I hear information like that or anything, you definitely want to do an assessment, and you want to make sure you get all the information and the evidence so that you can really, nail this person to the crime. Now, Zion Lexx, shout out to him, was recently on Tasha K, like I said it before. And he didn't speak too much about the details as to the alleged allegations regarding the charges with Brother Polight. But here is what we know, okay? Here's what we know. Is that this was this is an ongoing case. And this case actually started in the month of March. I mentioned this on the last show. We are in the month of August. It was just last week when this story was brought out by Tasha K, and has been running rampant. Shout out to everybody. New information has come out in regards to other people that may possibly be charged, and that is Sa-Netta, okay? Brother Polight, aka Michael Nowak, was arrested, but he's out on bail. That's possible. That's very possible. If he's out on bail, doesn't mean that he's not guilty. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. But there are some things that happen. And two of the things is that brother Polight, aka Brother Michael Nowak, drugged a young lady. So not only did you do some, molesting, right, or sexual acts on this young woman, but you drugged her to the with more than one drug. And man, for me, I'm just right now where I'm at in my life, I'm just zero tolerant for even certain potent herbs. So not only you drug this young lady, you drug her, and you just such a dirtbag, man. So being raped, molested, or sexually assaulted is one thing, but being overly drugged to the possibility that you may die is another thing. So you take those two things and you put them together, and you just really show that you're a dirtbag. You're wrong for that. You're such a dirtbag. And what I don't comprehend, and I mentioned this on the last show, you gotta be these were my exact words, verbatim. You gotta be some type of monster. You on some R. Kelly shit. I mean, the mental that you have is monstrous. It's barbaric. It gotta be, because y'all gotta really think about it. This man, women, because how he's portraying his life to be, being around Floyd Mayweather, being around celebrities, supposedly is a celebrity counselor or whatever. You women will throw themselves at you, literally, every day, even young girls. So, beautiful women that are of age and still youthful. You understand what I'm saying? So you gotta be some type of monster, animal. You got animalistic ways to have to do what you did, right? I'm telling you, you gotta be an animal. And anyone who knew about your animalistic ways and didn't report it, such as Sonetta, may be in trouble too, from what we're hearing. Now, Tasha K brought up that Sonetta was an ex-crackhead. And she had the police report, he used to use drugs, blah, 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 blah. It makes sense. He could be an ex-crackhead. I heard some other Hotep Negroes were ex-crackheads. But what I do know, and we gotta also put this into play, is a possibility that sometimes a lot of brothers would sell, boom, 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 sell on the corner, according to my uncle. And when they get caught, what they would do is say that they were a drug user so they can get less time or have to go to boot camp and so forth and so on. Not cutting this man any slack, because you're a crackhead, you a crackhead or ex-crackhead. But, sometimes you had to cop the plea to, pretend, you did what you did. So whether you was an ex-crackhead or a drug user, still same shit, up my alley. And these two people, who there's many more before them and there'll be many more after them, are prime examples of how you use money wrong. I have a strong feeling after, because Sonetta and Polight has gotten into it several times. Actually, Polight has gotten into it with Zion. And I remember the last time Zion was on Sonetta's platform, Brother Unc and everyone kind of like was going at Zion. And I was feeling some type of way about that. I did inbox him and let him know you did good, and X, Y, and Z. But I tell you, Zion is a beast. He's such a beast that people cannot handle him on their own. They have to come as a collaborate, literally as a collaborate, to kind of nail him, and they still don't do that. I don't even want to say to kind of nail him. I'm just saying the attempt. And they still are not successful with it. You know what I'm saying? But there was a time where Sonetta had beef with Polight. Y'all correct me if you're wrong. And when he had the beef with Polight, he made some statements about a young lady. and him allegedly being with this young lady. And he was not going to call his bluff. I want to know from y'all. Y'all got to keep it real with me. If you would have found out information like that, if you would have knew that Brother Polight was talking to an underage girl or doing something with an underage girl, would you have reported him during the time when Sonetta did it? And another thing, I know lawfully, you know, there are, you know, terms where you can kind of get someone to go under the bus with based off of their knowledge of things, right? It's like editing and abetting or something like that. Aiding and abetting. But I want to know if y'all think that Sonetta is going to go under the bus with Polight, because he was definitely aware of some of his activities. And I want to know from you guys, do you feel it's even fair for him to go under the bus? That's what I really want to know. Do y'all think it's fair? Should Sonetta have charges against him because of the information that he may have allegedly known about Polight? All right. Right now, Polight needs to be in jail. He has made mention of his following teacher, Dr. York, who I personally don't know nothing about, but he's, to my knowledge, is still in jail in regards to all of the alleged, well, not alleged, all of the children that they said he raped. Let me tell y'all something. This is why I trust nobody. I don't care what you may know. I don't care what book you're reading. I don't care what you're reciting from what book, or what information you may know about ancient Africa, or what information you may know about Asiatic, whatever. I don't care. I don't care, because right now people are just using our beautiful, beautiful ancestry information, and they're using it to be pimps. You got to remember, I said this before to you guys. Long time ago when Umar Johnson was out, that these people can't sing, they can't rap, they can't do those other things. So what they're doing now, this is the new way of becoming a celebrity. I said this long time ago, years ago. They found another way to become a celebrity by using their brains to recite certain information and regurgitate it. That's all they've been doing. And because of that, their predatory ways are still embedded in their brains, and then they're able to go ahead and think they can do whatever the hell they want to do to women in the community. And this is what happens. Now, me personally, I'm going to support that mother, and because at the end of the day, that mother did what she was supposed to do, and that was take her child to the hospital. That is take that child to the hospital, and that's what she did. Now, this man is still up here on social media talking shit to this day, talking about, once again, people will take certain facts or certain truths and use that and run with that, and people think they're so intelligent, they're so this and they so that. He's still up here talking about that. He, you know, so he was, I want to read exactly what he said. You know, he had the nerve to be compare a mother's love that may have multiple children as a way of saying that having multiple women is the same thing and you can love them all the same. My nigga, from the beginning of time since I've known this brother, I'm telling you, even from a distance, looking within, you can honestly tell who has his love. That first wife of his, you can tell that they are like a team. That's that, not because she's on the screen with him more or whatever, but you could tell. Look back at some of his other videos. You can actually tell. You can tell. All this other stuff is just a front. You understand what I'm saying? Because if you know about polygamy, I don't have any issue with polygamy. The way he's doing it, And the way most of these men are doing it, because I always say that we are not prepared for true polygamy. It was always not the right way. All right. Afisha says yes. Also believe that they have some type of evidence on Sonetta taking trips with Polight, etc. Listen, Sonetta started talking back to Polight is all about money. So when he seen Polight and thought that he had, he's linked to celebrities and he got money, he decided to keep his mouth closed. I will never forget when they had their run-in and Polight, came back on and came back on the show, and he started talking to him. He was like, yo, nigga, you were supposed to help me get this business going and blah, blah, blah. You supposed to help me. Everything is all about money. All right? Everything is all about money. So it's like, instead of you controlling the money is controlling you. Okay? And this is the issue right here. I do understand, sis, you said it's called plagiarism. Never in history I've seen so many people repeat another man's work and make money off of it. They pimp harder than women. This is very true. I said it. Because they are not rappers, because they're not singers, this is the new celebrity status. This is the way to become a celebrity. All you got to do is recite some Dr. Amos shit, recite Sheikh Diop or whatever his name is, recite some Moorish books, recite certain stuff, have a couple of seminars, and now you known in the community as a conscious leader, and you have a new celebrity status. All of them are doing that. And then they start to, so now the other celebrities, the ones that really sing, the ones that act, the ones that's in the Olympics, the ones that do other stuff, start to follow these people because they think they have something to offer. And now all of a sudden they become a celebrity. This is the new pimping. Okay? This is the new pimping. That's why I always say, I don't care. Like Pop said, it's all about who, what, when, where, how, and why. And once you start questioning these people, you just realize, nigga, you just basically memorize something from a book. All right?
I was going to say the same thing in regards to the whole pimping aspect, because it's...
So this is the new way.
It's really, like, mind-boggling as to how these cats... most of these cats that claim they conscious are like failed rappers and all of that shit. They failed rappers, and these motherfuckers had to find a new lane. And it's all good if your intent is really to help your people, but when you out there trying to get money on all this whole thing, and you not really being genuine, like the brother Sonetta, you know what I'm saying, he was alleged to have, did a couple of things, you know what I'm saying, as far as not paying people and trying to lowball people and all of that other stuff. It's clear evidence of that stuff, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Yo, peace DJ, peace Crazy World, peace to the co-host Waji in the building.
Right. So basically this is what's going on. Now we're going to play our clip this weekend because we had Brother Zion on. Y'all already know how we give it up here on House of Harlem studio, and we had Brother Zion on, and we asked him certain questions about the Bible. We asked him certain questions about his sentiments in regards to how he feels about having intercourse. I want to bring something up, and I want to play a little clip about with Zion and Tasha K having a conversation. Listen to me. What they were saying is not far-fetched, and sisters, we're going to have to step our game up significantly, because what's happening is, because the fathers are not involved, this is what's going on. Doesn't mean that it still can't happen if your father's involved. Yeah, anything's possible. But what are the probabilities, okay? What are the men here for? They're here for a reason. It doesn't mean that it's taking your womanhood. It doesn't mean that, it is what it is. And brothers, you're going to have to step up your game too. This is the problem. So Tasha K and Zion spoke about how children have to start having more respect. So when They just can't come in the house and say, Mom and Dad, I'm pregnant, but way before introducing you to the person and really getting to feel the person out to see if this person is a right fit for you. They can, most of the time your elders can smell your bullshit, So if you're interested in the man during courtship, or you're interested in the woman, these children, they were talking about how these children don't have respect anymore. They're not bringing the people who they're talking to the homes to be able to sit down and chop it up with the person, to get to know the person. And Tasha K had made mention that she told her daughter, and I'm with her 100%. If you come in this house just randomly pregnant, I'm not gonna help you with it. And because you didn't have respect, you didn't have enough respect for me to bring the person to me way before, because we gotta ask, what is the plan? How are we gonna do this? What is your plan? There's a lack of respect at the end of the day. And we want to say shout out to the stepdads, because sometimes the fathers do fall short, and there are some great stepfathers out there that I feel don't get enough credit for when they're in the building. But we're gonna go in on Brother Polight today. This whole month, we're gonna call this Brother Polight bashing month until his ass gets into prison where he belongs. He has footage of after the person who was molested and raped. This is a male. Not only was this person molested and raped, but his sisters were. Polight says, although even if Dr. York did commit those crimes, he's still going to look at him as his master teacher. That's a problem. I don't know I don't think in that video, because I didn't watch it, or whether or not he shouldn't apologize on Dr. York's behalf, but he should at least have some sympathy for the victims who were raped and molested. All right? Huh? All right, let's read. You want to read some stuff that they talking about in the chat? Go ahead. Do your thing. That's your job. That ain't my job. We're going to play some clips today. We got to talk about this COVID situation. Pfizer was just approved, you guys. But it's not the name. We're going to give you the new name. And guess what? We're going to tell you who is the person, right? We're going to give you the name of the company. And who is the person that is the spearhead of the company that got approved. Y'all are not going to believe this. I promise you. Y'all better be sharing this link, because we're going to give it in. Y'all not going to believe this. Y'all not going to believe this one. We're going to give you her name.
All right, so check it out. What's being said in the chat right now. Shout out to Crazy World. Shout out to Eugenio. Shout out to Brother Ralim. Who else pulled up? Who else pulled up in the building? Yeah. Shout out to Brother K. Shout out to Ronald Jarvis. Peace to everybody in the chat. We got a nice, working conversation going on here. Jay Bay's in the building. Shout out to you. So what's being said in the chat is Crazy World said all them teachers are scammers. All of the teachers, they all skimming and scamming. Ralim says, what mother in her right mind would allow her daughter to go to the club? You know what I'm saying?
We can't be true, right? Because the club is not going to let her in, right? That's why we got to wait for the details. There's no way in the world a club is going to let a 14-year-old girl in. You know what I'm saying? Right. So obviously there's some issues there with that story. But go ahead.
So here we go. We YG he co-signed that. Then Ralim says often mothers are renting their daughters out. Many compete with their daughters. Then YG says, "Damn, not the brother." Not the brother.
Not the brother.
The brother. Eugenio says, "I don't trust the system, and I don't trust what is sad, innocent till guilty." You know. Well, I think he was saying he don't trust what is said. You know, innocent till guilty. J Bay says the truth will make you free. Eugenio said, and if it happens, I feel sorry for the victims.
Yes. Yes.
But this is how they assassinate our people. And Afisha says, people gonna still support Polight because people still support R. Kelly.
Woo!
Wow.
And believe me, didn't I mention earlier today, he is another R. Kelly?
Wow.
Listen, I know there's people that's coming into the room. Just picture this. You got a lot of beautiful women, young, in their 20s, probably 19 to 18. You're a guy that's supposed to be a high quality guy. Y'all know I'm making fun right now, but just picture that. You got a lot of beautiful women. It's like on a weekly basis, Polight is posting women. He's around beautiful women every day. He don't know what ugly even looks like, all right? And you go and you commit something like that, you got to be a monster. That's a R. Kelly thing. There was interviews conducted where people were saying that there could have been a lineup of beautiful women. R. Kelly is going to choose the youngest woman in there. You have some mental issues. You have some mental issues. Mental. To have all these beautiful women around you and still do that. Now, brothers, although the report was saying that he said he took them to the club, so you know the club is not going to accept no 14-year-old. So we have no choice but to assume that he told the mother, because that was what the story was, oh, I took her to the club. Not only that, this girl had at least 4 drugs in her system. 4 drugs in her system. Why was the need to do that? Why? Why did you have to do that? Not only that, y'all got to remember, this happened in March. They fought to get his DNA. The DNA was on her body and on her clothes. They fought to get this DNA. It took a long, long time so that they could really pin him, and the mother did not even want this to get out. Zion Lexx knows more about this story. He's been in correspondence with the mother, and he's saying, and I personally have know Zion Lexx to be a truthful person. He's been on our platform. We interviewed him. He says y'all gonna be in shock when the whole full details is coming out. The whole full details cannot come out right now because the case is still ongoing. And once they reach to a certain point where they are able to give the full details, it's just crazy. It's mind-blowing, right? Listen, you guys, I mean, it's up to you. I choose to stand in support for the mother. I may mention this I may mention earlier, and I may mention last show. There are a lot of men who were in jail for years for rape that they didn't commit, rape that they did not do, right? But don't let that overshadow when something really did happen. Don't let that overshadow. Protect, and protect. We got to do case by case. Protect. This man, remember, Sonetta threw him under the bus, 2 years ago? He threw him under the bus with another young lady. He has a history with this. I want to ask you guys a question. I've had conversations with elders and men. Young women get their menstruation young sometimes, at 10 years young, at 13 years young, right? I want the chat. I need y'all commentary on this, and please call in for this. Do you think, because we know when we get our periods, right, our menstruals, when we get it, it is because we're in the process where we can be able to procreate, right? Do you think that if a young girl at 10 years of age, at 13 years of age, get her menstruation, should she be having sex? Is that a goal for her to have sex? Is that a goal for a man to, have sex with her? What do you think about that? Some people try to use that as validation for something. Now, I know that we have a lot of Western habits. We have a lot of Western lifestyles that have nothing to do with our culture, with our ancient culture, and rightfully so. We should be going back and practicing our culture. But what do y'all think about that? I need y'all to call in, like, yo, Afisha, I need you to call in. I need y'all to keep it real with me, because I want you to, keep it very scientific based and even biblical based, if possible. Should a young woman at those ages, if she has her period, be able to have sex or be able to get married? Now, y'all know the story about the Quran and the Prophet Muhammad and Aisha being given to him at the age of 10, I believe. And a lot of these men in the Middle Eastern have been using that story and marrying young girls as young as 10 years of age, right? But remember, from what I'm hearing, the back end of that story was arranged marriage, but he didn't have sexual intercourse with her until later on, like around 16 or 17. He did not have any intercourse with her. So it was an arranged marriage, but there was no intercourse. So the arranged marriage was around 10. The parents was like, hey, I want you to marry my daughter. You're upstanding guy, whatever. But there was no intercourse or actual marriage until later on. I need y'all to call in. What's the number we going to call in, engineer? Because y'all going to have to break down scientifically and biblically how the hell that makes sense. Okay? Because at the end of the day, you can get your period, but it doesn't mean anything. It just means that your body is starting to work where it needs to work at until you're ready. And I know for sure, mentally and even physically, I have made mention mentally, even physically, a 10-year-old is not ready to have intercourse. Like, what the hell is going on? That is predator behavior, in my opinion. That's just predator behavior, in my opinion. What is the chat talking about? Can you please give them a number to call in? Because we need to figure out what are we doing here.
All right, check this out. What's being said, I don't think anybody agrees with any of that. Shout out to Noble. Shout out to Ann J. Shout out to Mr. Holmes.
Please hit that like button if you guys haven't. Please hit this like button and share this link, because I want to have a conversation about this. I really need to know y'all opinion. I need to know as much opinions as I can out there to make sure that my head is right. Brother Polight is just one of many in the so-called conscious community that is using their status to lure in little young women, okay? It is not right. I have no issue with polygamy. But if polygamy is done the right way, I have no issue with that. I think that if it's done the right way, economically, we can really grow. That is not my issue. But if you're going to be a pimp and you're using that word polygamy as a tool to get away with being a predator, with being a molester, with being a rapist, then obviously I'm going to have a problem with that. I'm going to have a problem. I have no issue with you making money. I always say work smarter, not harder. I'm for the grind. I have no issue with that at all. But listen to me. If we don't protect this young lady and any other young girl, then who is? Who is? Right? Manipulation do exist. And so I sat back, I watched, read the report, try to do my due diligence and my research, and listen, man, this guy he's not just what Sonetta said years ago. Right, just what he said years ago is throwing him. He messed up. Now, one of the people in the chat did say that mothers are pimping their daughters out. Yes, and if you've been listening to the show, I'm an advocate for if you are showing any signs that you are giving your daughter or selling your daughter to any man, whenever he goes to jail, you should go right there with him. You should be right there with him. You understand what I'm saying? If he goes in for rape, whether you should be right there with him. We have to stop this system. And then, so I have a question about the menstrual, but I have another question. Back in the day, right, we used to arrange marriages, or we used to arrange relationships, or a person would have to give something called a dowry, right? Like, especially if you're a Muslim, y'all know what I'm talking about, right? You would give that to the parents, and you would sit down with the parents, and you would ask for the girl's hand in marriage through the parents. Do you think that that's the same thing as today's mother pimping their daughters out, selling their daughters? Or is that two totally different things? Please call in. What's the number? Call in. Because you know you have mothers who go, oh, it's R. Kelly. Go over there, dress them up sexy, make them be in the room with them, not watching them. If I have a child that's in the music industry, my child is not even allowed to step their toe into a studio. Their hair follicle cannot be in the studio unless me or their father's there. Period. They had to be escorted to the bathroom with everything that's going on. You should see how extreme I am, and my daughter's only 7 years young. They're not allowed to go anywhere without my permission. They definitely can't spend the night out, not even just with friends, but even relatives, okay? That's how extreme I am. Most of the things I do, I bring them with them, unless it's not child friendly, I bring them with me. Like, that's how super paranoid I am. 50%, and I'm just throwing that number out there without doing research, but me being in my community, me having thousands of cousins, 50% of us have been touched before we even reach the age 10. So I know how this go. All right. Okay. And Jay said, there's two different things. Listen, man, I appreciate you, saying that. I personally believe that it's two different things. But sometimes people are going to say it ain't the same thing. If someone comes in and they go and they sit down with your with a family member, and they're giving a gift, right? You know, back in the day, it used to be goats or cows, but now obviously it's money or, jewelry. That's no different than a mother walking into a studio and kind of pitching her daughter to whoever is famous out there. So I would want you to call in 646-776-3818 to kind of like really break that down as to why those are two different things, right? And so that the listeners could really understand this, and also the children. I want teens to be able to reference back to this show and see that, listen, you have to start bringing people to your parents. I don't even care, even if you have one parent or your grandparent, because let me tell you, your elders can smell the bullshit a mile away. They can smell the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And not only that, especially for young women, if you don't have a male or males, it should be more than one, uncles, brothers, right there in your corner, the probability of you getting the respect of the man that you really love is very low. When they know you got men that will come over there and slap dog shit out of him, if he think he even gonna buck wrong. they ain't going to be doing half of the stuff they do. And now it's a mutual respect because, you know, obviously a father wants a man that's strong and alpha to protect his baby girl, but still, the respect is there. Peace and love. Who am I speaking with? How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Great topic tonight.
Yeah. Oh, man, thank you. I mean, shoot, great topic to everybody in the world because, listen, the elephant is out. So let's talk about it. Let's keep it 100. Hey.
Okay, I want to address the first thing you mentioned about what age is appropriate for a girl to engage in certain type of activities. The reality is biology and maturity is not the same thing. Okay?
This is true.
If you're a person that breeds animals, it doesn't matter how young the animal is. Once the animal shows signs that it could reproduce, whether it's a dog, a cat, a rabbit, a cow, they would breed it. Okay? And that goes even into our cultures as well. Okay? Children who were 9, 10, 11, 12. My grandmother, she was married at 14 years old. Okay?
Right.
So, you know, we got to keep it real here.
Let's keep it
the
real.
only reason why there was such a thing called childhood, and I know I'm going to get real technical, and I might get, but I want to cover the political aspects of it first before I dive into the situation here. If you notice, in a lot of countries, like in a lot of African countries, their children are very mature, 1, 2 years old. They speak, they have rhythm, they dance. They don't necessarily have something called a childhood, okay? Because they are born like some children, you can look at them and say, okay, you're born twice, like you've been here before. Okay, but I don't
want to cut you off. This is please hold your thought. Please hold it. What she's saying is very true. I visited Africa and I had children that was younger than my children at the time, and they were caring for children younger than them. They seem to have been very more mature and very more advanced, and not in a sassy or grown type of way. This was just part of their lifestyle.
But just mature,
Right.
with just being mature. But you got to remember, the only reason why childhood came into play, because it had something called child soldiers and stuff, which is traditional in African culture and other cultures in the world. The only reason why childhood came into factor is no different than the reason why Christmas came into factor. It was for financial gain. Okay? It's all about finances. Let's keep the children in this category. Let's slow them down. Let's give them toys. Let them run around without thinking. And then we could control our economical,
Right.
brackets of how to make money.
Right.
Okay, that's the real. There was no childhood before a certain era. Okay? So as young as you're bled, you could have a child, you could start a family. Okay? The only difference is it was more of a structure versus somebody who's coming to take advantage and use that person of their innocence, rob a person of their innocence, and then, leave them high and dry.
Ooh,
okay.
That I was going to get a little bit into that. That is what the difference. That is the difference there, because
That's the
I'm going to
difference.
play devil advocate with you. What you're saying, then people going to go, then why is Brother Polight being charged with what he's being charged with? But continue. I mean, outside of the drug use, because there was drug use. You see what I'm going with that? You see what I'm going? And people will try to use that and run with it because I had this conversation. Okay. All right, go ahead.
But I did an actual post on this about 5 years ago on Facebook, and I was asking people, at what age did your grandmother get married? And mine said I said 14. Other people were saying 13, 12, 16. It was very normal in that age. My grandfather was 27.
That's way That's way too old.
Huh?
My great grandmother had 10 children, and my grand aunt is the last living. So that's my grandmother's baby sister. She just came
Yeah.
to New York and left. So she was giving me some family history. I'm sorry for the coughs. There's no Rona in the room. And
No, it's fine.
she was giving me some family history. Her mother
They were young, right?
had 13. 13 seems to be
Yes,
this lucky
yes.
number that I keep hearing from family to family. But continue. 16
But you
was
know,
too
my
old.
great aunt had her first at 9. My great aunt had her first at 9, and I think I had mentioned to you
What?
about the
Yeah.
Catholics that were coming down in the Caribbean who were interfering with the kids. Okay, so my great aunt had her first at 9 years old. Okay, out of a situation, I would say it was not a cultural situation, but like a forced situation. You understand what I'm saying? But so there's not really an age rate, but since society has changed, a child who's 14 is not mature enough because they weren't educated in a factor of how children are educated in a certain time frame.
Right.
A 14-year-old now is not responsible to have a child. They're not responsible to be left alone in the house
This is-
sometimes by themselves at that age.
You can't even trust a 14 American child that's 14 to go to an incinerator and throw garbage out nowadays.
To go to the supermarket and bring back what you asked them to bring.
I tell you, boy, maturity play a big role.
So yeah, he did rape her because if it was consensual, he wouldn't have to use all that drugs in her system. You see what I'm saying? And I believe that the mother, don't be down on the mother for letting him go because he was such a positive role model and how he spoke about women and different issues. We don't know if that teen had trouble in her life. We don't know if she had issues with her father. We don't know if she had disciplinary issues with her mom and she needed a mentor for her. We don't really know why it is he was able, as what predators do. That's why I do not send my children to camp. Excuse me, because they have a tendency of isolating the child eventually. This is how I know, and I shouldn't say this, but he probably has done this before. Okay?
Well, according to Sarnetta, he definitely has done it before. And according to his previous interview that was years ago, I think almost close to a decade, he made mention that his master teacher will always be his master teacher. And I'm paraphrasing here, that his master teacher will always be his master teacher despite the plethora of...
Well, I'm going to be 100% with you. When I first met Polight years ago, and I'm going to speak. I mean, if you want me to speak, I'll speak. If you don't want me to speak, I'll keep the hell up so we can keep it
Please,
private.
this is Keep It Real show. We just throwing it out. And we feel like men are
When
not
I
doing a
met
good
him
job.
years ago,
Right.
and he had that red truck,
Right.
and he did his lectures, and he came in with his wives. One was looking very, very young, like a teenager. I'm not going to lie to you. And her face looked like, sometimes when you give children, because I used to work for a psychiatric center. I was a manager there.
Right.
So when you give people medication, how they face be looking like they're in a...
Like they got Down syndrome or something? Like what?
Like they're somewhere else. They're like they're in a trance.
Right.
That's how she looked. And she was just
What?
like a zombie walking around. I'm not going to lie to you. And I told my boyfriend at the time, who's my children's father now.
Hold on 1 minute,
was
caller.
up there.
Hold on 1 minute. I'm so sorry. We have another caller coming in. I just want to make sure.
Go ahead. Maybe I shouldn't say it on the phone.
No. Today is. Let's just keep it real. We got. Cause see, I've never met Polight before.
Okay.
I go to my lectures and stuff. I met Omar Johnson and other people, Zion. Hold on 1 minute. Okay, whoever the caller is, just give us a few seconds for the other caller to speak. To finish up what she has to say. So we do need people who have had these encounters to come forth and speak the truth. Speak the truth. Now, I must say, how old was he when you met him? When you seen this, how old was he?
This was at least, it was more than 10 years ago. More than 10 years ago.
So he was young
the
himself?
wives were very young. They had the little afros and everything. They didn't have the implants yet. They had the little afros. They were selling food.
Right.
You know, at the meetings that they was having.
Come a long way.
They were just trying to get on their feet. Yeah, he had like I won't call it a hoopty, but some people call it like a hoopty truck. And he was really trying to get it together at that time, as I remember.
Right.
Okay?
But would you say that he was kind of young
But I
himself?
just noticed that something was wrong with them at that time.
Right.
And I just didn't feel good about it. One of the girls looked mad young and she looked confused. And that was, I can remember that's the only thing that stood out
Right.
For me. And to be honest with you, years later, I heard he had an underage wife, and that was the underage wife that he had, the one who was 17 or 16. Yeah, somebody's girlfriend's daughter or something
Right.
like that. It turned out to be that's the same girl, but
Right.
she was looking like she was in something. Okay, at that time, and that's
Wow.
my personal experience.
So it's
and
one
after
thing-
that, I kind of slacked off of Polight from that point.
Right.
Huh?
I want the brothers to call in and keep it all the way 100. I want y'all to keep it real with me because, 17-year young girls date, older guys. I know when I was in high school, I had the school dean trying to talk to me. I had the school safety guards talking, to all the young women that were coming in and out of high school. So it's nothing new. We got to keep it real. Outside of Brother Polight, y'all know this is nothing new. I'm not using this as an excuse.
Right, but he's grooming people. It's
Thank
not
you.
the
That's
same
what I
thing
wanted to
as
say.
Somebody, because the girl, apparently, one of the wives is a friend of his daughter. A friend of his daughter. Like, he was a mentor. So what he's doing is, like, I could give you something I heard years ago. I heard that Brother Polight was mentoring someone in New Jersey. And the guy went to him for help in order to save his marriage.
Right.
And he said Brother Polight ended up sleeping with his wife.
Oh,
Okay? So I heard something, I'm like, I heard something like that years ago.
He has no morals and he has no ethic. But at the end of the day, even with the regular day-to-day life where older guys are talking to young girls 16 and 17, because we got to keep it real. Today is keep it real. All right? So the Polight situation is outside of the drugs.
The 16-year-old have to want to speak to you. You can't drug them.
That's what I'm about to
point where
say.
you're almost going to kill them.
But that's my
like
thing.
rape.
Outside of the drugs, is it right? Because this is happening all the time. So this is the thing. I'm trying to address the issue on a general basis. Outside of him giving a young lady drugs, is it right? Is it right for a 25-year-old to try to court a 16-year-old? These are the things that I want to talk about today. We got to get the elephant out the room. We got to get the elephant out the room. We got to keep it real. I'm sorry, I can't hear. Hold on 1 minute. Oh, okay, go ahead. Go ahead, talk. This is what I want to know because a lot of brothers and are doing this, and outside of him giving the young lady drugs, is this right? Is this right? I don't think that a 16 or 17-year-old have anything in common with a 25 or 30 or 40-year-old. They not going to even want to play the same damn music. Anyway, we have another caller on the line. Sister, I thank you. Please stay put. I want you to stay on because I want you to hear what other people have to say. Peace,
Yes.
Peace to the gods. How are you?
Peace to y'all.
Okay. Oh boy. This okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna embarrass the niggas up with what I got to say.
Okay. Let's hear it. I'm ready. Peace, love, and light to my brother. We ready to hear you.
Okay. Hopefully there's no reverb. It's the time frame and the concept, the the event that takes place.
We can barely hear you. You turn the music, whatever's playing on in the background, so we can,
Can you hear me better now?
we can hear you good. But we got the background. You think you can turn that down? I don't know if somebody's talking or is that the radio?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, very good. We can hear you very good.
Y'all need to get your devices back in order.
Okay, we ready. We can hear you.
So you can hear me now.
Yep, we can hear you perfectly now. Go ahead and talk.
Like a goddamn commercial. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Listen, I'm gonna respond to all of y'all.
Okay.
First and foremost, this is Brother Newman.
Okay.
Second and third, I come from a family of 15 beautiful souls. 9 sisters, 6 brothers. My grandmother is the only child, so I'm going to give you facts.
Okay.
Back during that time period, new country, short lives, nigga only live to be 30, 35, you dead then. You get you a wife. You have old niggas that wasn't old. These motherfuckers like 32. That was ancient. Mountain men. They got a woman that was 10, 11, 12. Back then, during that era.
Okay.
Now I'm going to throw something for you to think about. Jeffrey Dahmer's father was a master butcher. Y'all chewing that biscuit for me.
Who?
Like father, like son. Jeffrey Dahmer.
Okay. Okay.
The nigga that ate people.
Yep. Mhm.
Okay. If you think about it, y'all talked about it last week, I think it was, this could be his escapism for Polight, to get out and go back into another life. You know, did his dirt, he may have been an agent. True?
True. To my father.
Okay.
Yes.
Now I'm gonna say this. He's dirty as a motherfucker. If I ever see him, I can't see what I'll do to him.
I hear that.
But at the end of the day, even I cried when I heard what Dr. York allegedly did, because I'm going to explain something to you. I ain't seen motherfuckers do nothing right or wrong in regards to that incident. So I'm not going to speak on that.
Right.
I was not there. I'm there, but I'm not there. I hear, but I don't hear. I don't like the he say, she say shit.
Mm-hmm.
So, nowadays, you guilty till you see yourself fucking innocent. Look what happened to African bombardment. Same shit. So now you see that Polight, well, I never followed the nigga anyway, but at the end of the day, I say this, what he did was wrong, because Bill Clinton, if you got a divine goddess to get a piece of ass, maybe you're fucking sick. So what's wrong with our people? Because he ain't the only motherfucker doing this shit. And the sisters that's selling their babies to niggas with big, small, or whatever. In America? No. They ain't the only ones doing that shit. They're doing that shit in Somalia, third world country. Niggas starve. They'll sell their ass for a piece of bread. A 9-year-old. Facts. You said you want it raw, right?
Yeah, I want it raw.
So you got it raw. It's the mental that's fucked up. Both ways. The fucking wheel is broke in our community. It's broke. Bitches don't want to stand up and be divine bitches. Mm-hmm. And I'm saying that's Tamara in a nice way. In a very divine way. Y'all do your homework. I can kind of explain.
This is
and
true.
brothers who are alpha males are definitely not protecting the family. How dare you let your daughter go out and hasn't been through the rites of passage? Let's shit y'all on. So, it ain't for everybody. You gotta start with your own family.
This is true.
So I'm just telling you like it is.
I mean,
you see the shit on the outside, things, excuse me?
I said, you're keeping it real. You're keeping it real. You're addressing both sides of the issue, the men and the women. We gotta get back right.
Look, I'm gonna say this to you. I cry every day the way that I see how our people have went mentally. Ain't no going mentally insane. Have went mentally insane by design. Trauma, repetition, and symbol. Talk about they want a Big Mac, taking their babies to get a Big Mac, getting them fucked up. And then you expect to raise a dog? It's in your DNA, nigga.
You see?
You're fucked up chemically imbalanced. You gotta eat right to think right. Drink your water. Man, cybernetics really is motherfucking hell true. Because motherfuckers, you allow it to happen. It is a part of your consciousness. And you being a god, you supposed to know. Shit, you know you're supposed to take heads, nigga.
All right, brother. I mean, I appreciate you giving your...
Yeah, I'm through with that. I'm through. I just wanted to give y'all that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the girls be forced. Yeah, you know, I really appreciate you giving your commentary. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, with just the drugs involved, period, Brother Polight is wrong. Now, some people are judging the mother in regards to her allowing a young girl to even be around Polight. But like this... Yeah, most, but... I'm sorry, divine guys, for cutting your wisdom. Go ahead.
Paradise lies at the feet of the mother. You come out the womb. First face you see is Mom Duke. Who's walking with you? Because the motherfucker, the daddy's a punk motherfucker, some daddy. Not all. They going to chase another piece of ass.
Nowadays, the first face you see is the white doctor. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah. Look. And keeping it 100, what it is that I learned from my grandma.
That's right.
I learned from my mother. And I damn sure learned from my motherfucking daddy what not to do.
Exactly. So you learned from that too.
You understand? He was there, but he wasn't there. He was a host.
He said, you know what not to do.
Okay. Listen, he showed me how not to treat women.
Right.
Lock them in the restaurant. I know going to know he say some shit. Let me get back to the top. So at the end of the day, it starts with your own family because out of one comes many.
This is true.
Out of one comes other children. You got to train her. You the beginner. You the creator. Shit. Once you shut that in there, everything else people good. Motherfuckers gonna drop to the wayside.
Right. And you pretty much, your statement coincides with what the young sister was saying. Back in the day, it was a different time and a different era, just like when my grand aunt was explaining to me. Now, you know, we have something different. But even outside of the sexual situation, this man literally pumped drugs. It was stated last night on the interview with Tasha K that if the mother would have listened to Polight, because he had sat on her and the mother was scared when he brought the daughter back. She said, what did you do? Because they were only supposed to go downstairs in the lobby, the hotel lobby. But he wound up traveling all over the place with her. And it was said that the mother didn't even want her to leave because she was getting dressed. And he said, no, we'll just meet you down in the lobby. And he wound up taking her somewhere else. But the whole point was, they said that the girl was so drugged up that if she would have listened to him and waited till the next morning, the girl would have been dead. The girl would have been dead.
Murder charge, nigga. They had murder charge.
Right, and he would have had a whole murder charge. So he better be lucky she didn't listen to him.
Listen, check this out. Listen, everybody's listening. Let's talk with your monkey ass. We hear what the motherfucker did. We hear what's going down. But the buck stops with your state of awareness, your state of consciousness. Yeah, we got a lot of fucked up people in our tribal family. But you got to learn how to switch that motherfucker around.
And to the women. The women and the men. You know, this goes to the women and the men because it is said that, you know, some men...
I ain't talking on one side.
No. I'm talking about the advice I'm gonna give to women and men. Just listen. It doesn't matter how humble the person may seem, or how honorable, Always keep your guards up when it comes to your children. And we also must remember that young men have been sexually assaulted, probably even more than girls, but it just hasn't been outright in the public, you know. But guard your children. Guard your children. Don't trust no one. Just don't trust no one. Never keep your guards down.
True that. This is. I will give a solution since we do have a situation. We don't have a fucking problem. Guys don't have problems. We just have a situation that we know have to change. All right. Now, I'm gonna enlighten you on something. I hope I don't flip the script on everybody.
No, go ahead.
But you know how you look at yourself before you're born?
Right.
How you look in the womb, percolating?
Right.
That's an ugly motherfucker, ain't it? That's an ugly motherfucker.
Yeah.
But pay attention. Pay attention.
Right.
This is going to open a lot of people's eyes. That motherfucker ain't done yet.
So that's an ugly motherfucker.
Polite shit, that's right. It hasn't matured. It hasn't fully developed.
Right.
Right? All right, follow me. Here comes the game changer. We see what the fuck is going on with Polight and every ugliness in the world.
You can kind of run it now.
Okay? That's because that motherfucking creation ain't done yet. That means it hasn't matured enough into the God state. It ain't done yet. It's an ugly situation that we're looking at, but it ain't done yet. Some of the creatures you see, the caterpillar or locust, it ain't done yet. Completing its transformation. Now, take the baby in the womb. It ain't done yet. Then when it pops out, oh, look at the old Prada ball. Look how beautiful this girl look, this boy look. But in the beginning stage, ugly as a motherfucker look like a goddamn ugly.
Right, right.
Open your eyes, see how ugly this nigga is. He ain't done yet, but look at the reality. He did it.
Well, his intent is ugly, and you know, justice will get to him. People are not letting out. This is a prime example. Do not put your trust in these so-called people in the conscious community. You got to put your trust within yourself.
Wow.
You got to start studying and not allowing people to study for you. It is okay to have a dialogue and a conversation, and it's okay to learn from people too, right? But it has to be an even thing. If you solely rely on these people, this is when they're going to take advantage of you and your children. All right? So don't allow this to happen. This so-called conscious community is like just pimping now. Like I said, they don't know how to dance. They don't know how to sing. They don't know how to act. So what they're going to do is just going to go into these books, recite certain things, regurgitate it, and then there you go. We keeping it real.
Hey, check this out. It's strange that you're bringing this out into the ether because it's all over. We ain't always just, chopping up like this. We're in the galactical heavens and the balanced universe waiting. House of Harlem, goddammit.
House of Harlem.
Listen to me carefully. Ain't no COVID. That's wrong. Check this out. It starts with the inner you, the God in you. There's two gods, and I'm just passing on what has enlightened me. There's two gods. One of change, one that's unchanging. The one that's unchanging is satisfied with the situation. Don't change nothing, motherfucker. You'll be out of order. But the God of change is the creator, the feminine divine energy that manifests shit out of nothing.
Right.
You give a nigga $1, what you get? Change.
Yep.
You got people that say, don't change nothing, they say. Cooks, don't change my recipe, nigga. Yeah, but it needs to be changed a little bit to attract new soul.
Yeah.
So now we see this ugliness. This motherfucker, everybody involved in this Sky Polight,
Yep.
the women involved.
Yep.
If they know about it, they are it. If they did not stop it, as the wheel would turn. That's enough said. I'm out with that.
Right. Well, I want to move on because we got some COVID stuff to talk about. Got that Rona to talk about. You know, Pfizer just came up and they've been approved, right? They approved. This
Peace to the gods.
establishment. Peace to the gods, man. We appreciate you coming, give your commentary, and you kept it real. Listen to me, you guys. I need y'all to go on Google because I'm gonna give y'all a name. I'm about to drop a gem right now. All right. I want y'all to look up a name, and I want y'all to know how really real this is and how much we've been doing our research, but I want y'all to know how real this is. All right. The FDA just recently approved one of the slabberjabbers, right? One of the slabberjabbers that they claimed they approved was the Pfizer. But for some interesting reason, they changed the name. So it went from the Pfizer biotech to something called Comirnaty. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. I'm going to spell it. Comirnaty. They said they changed the name. Why on God's green earth would they change the name? I need y'all to make sure y'all hit this like button, and I need to make sure y'all share this link. Because we're going to add 1 and 2 and 3 together. That is so pretty. We're going to add 1, 2, 3, and 4 together really quick to really figure this out, right? Now, if y'all notice, on there, they give you the clinical trials and the studies to support what they were doing. I want y'all to look this name up, Christine Grady. Can you please put Christine Grady in the chat? I need y'all to know how real it is. Where is my bomb sound right now? Where's my bomb sound? What's going on? Where's my bomb sound? Because I'm about to drop a bomb real quick. I'm about to drop a real bomb. And I want y'all to feel me on this. I'm going to give y'all some time to get your teas out, to get y'all stuff out, because you're not gonna, you can't make this up. And this is why I say, do your research and use your common sense. Please do. Okay? Y'all got that name, right? Christine Grady, Grady. She is the woman behind the new name, behind the new company that approved Pfizer Biotech. And guess who she's related to? Guess who she's related to? Let me give you the sound effect again. She is Dr. Fauci's wife. Yep, I said it. She is Dr. Fauci's wife. Okay? And y'all start to see how all of this just adds up together. Y'all see how this all just comes together as a conglomerate. And if y'all want to know more about it in detail, about this company, about Dr. Fauci's wife, I just gave you her name. And it's really hard. It was really hard digging. But when you start to go onto these company sites and you start to get these names of the directors or the head leaders in charge of these companies, and then you start to go in and research some more and see, oh my God, and see who they're married to and who they're connected to. These two try to keep it under the bus. They try their very hardest to keep it under the bus. But I promise you, that is his wife. Now, why on God's green land of the universe right now, as we talking, with split asses and all, would these people continue to get away with this craziness? You have to ask yourself, why was the name changed? Okay? And the name was changed to go in single-handedly because Pfizer's no longer involved in this. They are affiliates with this company. The name wasn't changed. They are affiliates. They attached themselves together. And yet and still people are out here not doing their research and trusting everything that these people have to say, despite them being the most inconsistent people of the year. Matter of fact, they should get an Oscar award for the most inconsistent government in the world. Matter of fact, they should be in the Guinness Book World of Records for the most inconsistent government in the world. Here you are, that you have virologists that has so many years and so many degrees under their belts, biologists, virologists, immunologists, who are coming forth and explaining to you about this spike protein and this nanoparticle alone in the slabber jabber and the harmful effects of it. But yet they keep getting shut down. You mean to tell me that they are hiding so much the actual amount of people who have died from this, and then on top of that, the people who are ill from this? But still, they have come on here and said that the vaccinated are now super spreaders and whose immune system is now more compromised and they are more in danger with the new variants, but still they promoting it. And just of this Monday that passed, which was what, the 24th, the slabber jabber has been approved with the new name. What do you guys think about that? Now, I know some people, they for it. Once again, I'm not here to judge, but I'm here to say, to make you think. Things that make you go, Things that make you go, Now, why is it that Dr. Fauci's wife is in this company and she was able to go ahead backhandedly and get this approved? How is this possible? How is this even possible? I need somebody to explain to me. Now, New York is still standing strong on their restrictions. I happen to see a couple of, I'm giving y'all reports of what's going on because I know a lot of our people are in Atlanta, some of our audiences in Atlanta and in Texas. You know, I have, some people reaching out to me in a DM asking me and asking for updates of what's going on here in New York. We're still standing strong. There are a lot of anti-vax people out here. But what's happening is when the COVID started, right, and the restaurants started to open up, restaurants had kind of like put up like a board outside of the restaurant, so they were able to have space on the curbside. So now New York looks totally different. So New York, you have you built like almost like a what do you call those? A gazebo or shed. I call them igloos. Some of them even have actual igloos, right? So how the hell you dining outside but you're still inside? You're still, because there's a cover, especially when there's winter time. They put the plastic, they put the heat in there to keep you warm, and they also have it covered. So you're outside, inside. So you'll see a lot of those type of sheds on the curbside in New York City, right? So here, keep that in mind. So with that being said, this restriction now is like if you don't have your vax and you can't prove that, you won't be able to dine, right? But you just won't be able to dine inside their restaurant, but you still can dine outside, which is still inside. I know it's hard for y'all to understand what I just said, but we're going to have to show y'all some pictures. We're going to have to actually show y'all some pictures. We're going to make sure y'all follow us on House of Harlem TV on Instagram and House of Harlem Studio. We have a group, House of Harlem Studio group on Facebook. Media, I'm sorry, House of Harlem Media on Facebook, because we're going to post some actual pictures of how New York look. So, I say, even with this new approval, right, that Dr. Fauci's wife is the spearhead behind it all, and we're going to give you some more information on that. Y'all going to have to definitely look at our Patreon for that one. People are giving, people are fighting back. We happen to witness a lot of people arguing with restaurant owners in regards to them dining in. If you really feel like you're being forced to take something, or you feel like you're part of an experiment, just don't go at all. Just don't go. Listen, I'm not really, I like certain some things that Martin Luther King had implemented, because I wasn't with the stand down and let dogs bite me. I'm a Malcolm X type of female. But one thing that was effective, according to history, was that boycott. Everyone needs to freaking boycott every restaurant out here. It's only going to, two or more things are going to happen from that. The restaurants are going to start putting pressure back on the state to say, listen, we're not getting no business. And they're going to start protesting, or protesting with the people that don't believe in the vaccines. Or they're just not going to have no business. Or there's not going to be no businesses. And it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay, because there's no way that this vaccine can only be one-sided, and you can't get to hear the opposition. You can't get their point of view. Where they do that at? And even in science, you have all scientists that come across on a table and, speak about their findings and kind of conclude, maybe based off of the majority, what it is or what it's going to be. But you mean to tell me in this particular situation, no one can disagree? Something is wrong there. Oh, by the way, they are giving out Krispy Kreme donuts too for free. If you can show your Vax card, if you want to get the Krispy Kreme donuts. So just make sure you just have your Vax card. You can show up and do what you got to do. What else they giving out for free? What else they giving out for free?
Man, they giving out free gift certificates. They giving out 2 whole Krispy Kreme donuts. You know what I'm saying? You can't beat that. Come on, y'all. Come on. That's a win-win right there. Let's get that jump off, you know what I'm saying? And fast track out with your diabetes or something. Come on, y'all. Let's do this. They've been giving out French fries. They've been giving out lottery tickets. They've been giving out all of these things in order to get poked in your arm. Oh, Eugenio says they giving out Big Macs. Come on. I know you loving it. You loving it, right? Just love your ass all the way to the motherfucking to Mickey D's. You know what I'm saying? Go get that. What else, y'all? I mean, I know I'm missing some things. What else are they giving out? You know what I'm saying? Because they letting it be known, you know what I'm saying? Like, because this is the thing. If you got something that is beneficial, wouldn't the actual products sell itself? Wouldn't they give, they gave out 2,000 what? But they didn't give that out to get poked in your arm. They didn't get that out. You know what I'm saying? They gave that out supposedly, you know what I'm saying, to people who suffered in their business because they had the lockdowns. That's what that was. That is what that was all about. You know what I mean? So, you know, we talking apples and oranges right now when it comes down to, you know, the loans and, you know, some of those business benefits. Nah, you know what I'm saying? Because I know some people who got one without having to get the other. You know what I'm saying?
Right, and that's
You know.
they said at least one.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I need to see more. Is who better good? The government? The government ain't never really been about certain things, but at times the government sees that, even the government knows that the only way they can make money is if people are out here doing transactions with money. If people have money, then the government makes money. If the people don't have money, the government don't make no money. They don't make money off the businesses because they're not making any money. They're not making money off the taxes that people spend when they go into the businesses, you know, because people don't have the money. You know what I mean? So we got to kind of look at that in the vacuum and go, okay, you know, the same way presidents for years have signed on to print more money up to give the illusion that there's more money out here. But what happens is the money gets devalued by doing that because it's not backed by anything. It's backed by your labor. You know what I mean? So that's not a very good analogy when we're talking about getting poked in your arm for a benefit. On one hand, and on the other hand, they give loans. Well, maybe some people fell victim to that. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I know that there's plenty of people who didn't fall victim to it. They were smart enough to actually have real businesses that did suffer. You know what I mean? And that's really what it comes down to. If the business suffers due to the fact that the people out here aren't working because businesses are closing down and the people are struggling just to pay their rent and just to feed their family, you know what I'm saying? They got to do something for something.
Well, who's really suffering? Who are the real businesses that they are the so-called, what they call them as minority? You know who?
I mean, you know,
Careful.
yeah. I mean, you know, everybody didn't really, you know, benefit the way that, you know, they should have. But, you know, to each his own, you know. My thing is, if you have a product, going back to my original statement, if you have a product that is bona fide, that really does what it is claimed to have to do, then it sells itself. You don't have to go through hell and high water to create all kind of ploys and gimmicks in order to persuade people to do something that in their own mind they're questioning. You know, now I'm not here to advocate to anyone to get poked or not to get poked. It is your choice. You understand? I'm not here to try to convince you one way or another. I'm here to present some facts to you, and you make the decision on your own. But in my mind, I'm going, why are they going through all these lengths to try to trick me? Now, keep in mind, this is how gullible, easy, and persuadable they think you are. You know what I'm saying? They'll give you a lottery ticket for that. They're giving you not a whole dozen of donuts. They're giving you 2 donuts.
They're not giving you a whole meal, but they're only giving you 1 hamburger. Yo, I promise you, yo. Gullible
And it says,
is not.
restaurant owners sue New York City, hoping to block its ridiculous mandate. So these are the businesses that see that something is awry when it comes down to making people. Now they just forcing you into a corner. They saying it's your choice, but you can't go out. It's your choice, but you can't go shopping. It's your choice, but you can't enjoy any of the liberties that you would normally be able to enjoy.
And people are making excuses. People are saying, because they said I can't go to the gym, and they know they apply for the gym and only went once in their lifetime. They said I can't travel, and they know they never left their home.
So what's really good?
Using excuses, they're vulnerable.
Right. So what's really good? You know what I'm saying? It's that damn it's that healthy for you that they're gonna back you down. Like they got the thing out on you. You know what I'm saying? Right. But keep in mind, okay. All right, bring it back up. Bring it back up. No, all right. He said it's mandated now. In New York it is. But then there are other states. I think what was the other damn? I forget. It was either what state was it? Oregon? Or what it was
He said, please call back in, Rob. Please call back in. Please call back in.
Hold up, bro. Oh, my bad, Rob. Hold up. My bad. The phone wasn't next to me. Let's see what's going on. We're gonna get you on the line right now. No, it's already connected. Oh. So keep in mind, let's talk about this, y'all.
Peace.
Yo, peace, Rob. Peace.
Peace, God. I had to call it. My first time calling it, man. Let me get in on this actually, man. Listen, cats. I don't hope I ain't saying too much, but they people, and I agree with you, Shop. You know what I'm saying? I ain't here to tell people what to do. You know what I'm saying, and what not to do. I'm not here to do this. I'm just telling people, just fucking think for a moment. Just think for a moment. Look at the pattern that's been going on from 1917 all the way to now.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? That's all I'm trying to do is get people to think.
All right.
They say there's nothing new under the sun.
Right.
Nothing new under the sun. You know.
You absolutely right, man. And the thing is that it's something that it shocks me that people have to question their own judgment. You know, because when some people know that something is like really, really off about this, you know, who knows what they went through in order to get this thing mandated right now. Now, think about how many people had gotten. See, this is the thing. They went through the hoops. They went through the flaming hoops to try to get you all on deck with this thing. Then it seems that didn't work. You know what I mean? Because there were so many. Now, there's so many of a group of people who have done it, but then there's so many of a group of people who haven't done it. So why is it that the timing of it is based on the people who haven't done it? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And
But it's a system. They need you to volunteer, though. Anything that they do, it's all about volunteer. Because if we can get the majority to volunteer, then we can do what we call mandate, which ain't about shit. You know what I'm saying? You got to open up your mind. You know what I'm saying? It's all about participation, volunteering shit. You know what I'm saying? But it's up to people in their mind to figure out what is what. What is what?
right.
But like you were saying, you know, when you think about this shot, what is the benefit? How is it going to benefit you? You know what I'm saying? You hearing motherfuckers pass out. You know what I'm saying? You hearing about this stupid shit called shedding, right? And then people don't even know themselves. They don't understand the body. They don't understand the body. The body comes up with the solution and the elixir of life to cure anything, even if you have a fucked up immune system. You got a fucked up immune system because you don't understand that your body is you know what I'm saying, you're getting rid of something that can cure you. You know what I'm saying? You have a vaccine for within because you have a solar system. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if you're going to take that jab or whatever they want to call it, the good old poke, it's going to fuck you up. But I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just saying you got a choice.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Now check this out. Oh, God. Okay. Now, I'm going to read this article real quick that has to do with it. And Crazy World, call up. If you disagree, call up. Let's hear your take on it. It says the lawsuit argued, and this is some other people that okay, all right. He says good health can't cure a disease. Good health is not about curing you. Your body creates herbs can kill it. You ain't got to you don't have to take something that's manufactured in a lab. But I don't want to get into that right now. I digress. Hold on. It says the lawsuit argues that city officials are unfairly singling out restaurants, gyms, and other businesses with overly rigid restrictions. A small group of businesses is suing New York City, hoping to stop the city's first in the nation mandate for restaurants, gyms, and other indoor public venues. The lawsuit filed on Tuesday in Richmond County Supreme Court has the support of prominent Republican elected officials, including, I'm not going to give their name, doesn't matter. It says the city is requiring patrons and employees of restaurants and certain other businesses to show proof that they got poked. The plaintiff says the city is unfairly targeting businesses that are struggling during the pandemic, and that there should be exemptions for people with certain medical conditions or religious beliefs. Now, my question to the chat and the audience, do you think certain religious groups of people are going to be mandated?
And let me ask you something. Rona must have they must have a favorite place to be, because if this is a pandemic, then there should be restrictions all across the border. How could you be restricted from the gym and from the restaurant, but a clothing store you're not restricted? A hospital you're not restricted. When they give the vaccines, although it may be, it's not even 6 feet apart. That's not restricted on a bus. How is it that there's restrictions in only certain places? Walmart, no restriction. Target, no restrictions. If this is an emergency, wouldn't it be across the border like everything is shutting down? I'm shutting everything down. That's not a red flag to you guys? Something's wrong.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Now check this out. It says Mayor de Blasio argued that the mandate and other measures are needed, and other measures Wonder what those are. They ain't tell you what that is yet. You know what I'm saying?
That's when the military come in.
Right. And other measures are needed to curtail a troubling rise in the virus cases, driven in part by the more contagious Delta variant, and to encourage more New Yorkers to get poked. New cases in the city have surged to an average of more than 1,700 a day, from about 250 a day in early July. Now, keep in mind what happened last year after the summer. After the summer ended, it got a little colder. When you know flu season is around and the weather starts to change, and people usually their immune system has to adjust to the climate change. But they said that the cases went up. Now, how could the cases go up when you have a test that doesn't give you an accurate reading? They can turn up and dial down the I forgot what they call it, but the meter that detects this supposedly detects this. You know what I mean? Because they dialed it down when in January. They dialed it down in January to give the notion that, oh, things are getting better. Look at who, this old guy's in the building. You know what I'm saying?
They said 70% vaccination, and they will open up New York, and now the 70% that they claimed they needed is open, but now they didn't get what they wanted.
Right. They didn't get the amount of people to willingly put their arms out there.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
They did. That's why they opened up in the first place. He said we're not opening up completely until we get 70%. So now that you reach the 70%, remember they told us that if everybody stays in, we would get rid of this. Mm-hmm. Everybody and their mama was in for 3 months, and then when everybody came out, they said if everybody wear the mask, we would get rid of this. Okay, then that didn't work. When everybody do the vaccines, we're 70%, we can get rid of this. Every single time there is something. Do you not remember? I promise you, I'm going to play all the videos back.
And this is according to the mainstream media. This is according to the supposed health officials and health professionals who were supposed to be doing the research.
Then they said if you get vaccinated, then you're good. Now they're saying the vaccinated is compromised. They even said the vaccinated immune system is compromised. Come on, hello.
Listen, you talking about what's going on around the world. What's going on around the world is people are rioting and protesting against being told what they have to do with their own bodies. That's what's happening around the world.
But it's not they're saying that this is not making no sense. And
hospitals are not feeling. There's one place where
that you gotta read it, because when people go back to look at this, you gotta read it.
I'm reading it now. I'm about to read it.
Okay.
It says hospital beds are filling up around the world, but they're only filling up really in one place. You know what I'm saying? And it's a place out in the Middle East. And check this out. The people that are filling the hospitals are the ones that stuck their arm out.
And they said that themselves.
And this is according to them, not us.
The media is saying is the unvaccinated. No. According to the doctors, is the vaccinated. In fact, I spoke to a guy from Nigeria. He said now 1 case of COVID. So I asked him, are they giving a shot? He said yes, because you know they got to make their money. So come on, man.
Come on.
Man. Stop playing.
Come on. People, and this is not here. This is somewhere else. So they know what it is because they were taught a little bit differently. Their customs and the way that they live outside of these borders are different. So you mean to tell me that they are that unaware of what it really is about? Nah. What you think about this, Rob? What are we jumping off a cliff here? What?
Nah, man. You listen, man. Listen. Anybody that get jabbed, they gonna jump off a cliff. But it's everything they're doing is all about the Federal Reserve. I had to say it, but the Federal Reserve System or whatever they call it in any other place, their main objective for their own interest is to, rack it up. You know what I'm saying? I mean, corporations is here to make profit, right? That's what it's all about.
That's
You know what I'm
all
saying?
it's about. You're talking about making a profit and doing what's called population control.
At this point, we have no choice but to believe this is population control.
Right.
The bars got a leak out that there's more people. It's 38,000 people that died than it is the people who actually got the Rona the natural way. Okay, that was leaked out. Then another leak out was that the so-called black people was only 18% that took the slapper jabber.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they had to do the incentives and all the free bull crap. Now they were able to get. Let me tell you something. I don't even want to say what our people is doing, but if they think they're getting one over, they must don't know these streets. Okay, they must don't know these streets and how these people work. Can you read some of what the chat is saying?
Okay, let me go into the chat.
Mel can answer, what the chat is saying.
All right. So what? Moores for More says it's a problem because only 30-something% of Black Americans took the jab, so 70-something% are unjabbed. The only people affected by the mandate is Black Americans. I mean, and that's purely on the numbers. So we can kind of quantify a little bit about how and why certain things are happening, and look at the advertisements for this as well. Look at the advertisements. It's you'll see who they're targeting. So now,
because them white people want sushi, so they ain't nowhere.
Yeah, they gonna do what they do anyway. They want their wine, they want their sushi, and they want their rare steaks. You know what I'm saying? So Crazy World said Texas mayor is telling a different story. Ask the mayor of Texas. Well, you know what? We might try to reach out to him, see if he can get on the program. You know what I'm saying?
Good luck with that one.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
There's a few states that's doing something different. Where I'm at, you know what I'm saying, the governor, I'm in Arizona, so Ducey, Ben said it, man. He said you could put that genie in the bottle away if you think I'm going to, because he never, this is one of the only states that never did they never did an emergency shutdown. Throughout the whole COVID, this state was never shut down, not all the way fully. You know what I'm saying? What Ducey did was leave it up to the business owners and to, you know what I'm saying, they had a little city meeting throughout every city in his county and throughout the state. You know what I'm saying? And they allowed the businesses to choose what the hell, you know what I'm saying, that they wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? And then they had stopped that. I mean, and the crazy thing was the Ducey never had a mandate. He had a paperwork with his seal on it. He never had it. There wasn't a mandatory mandate, and people were still trying to tell you, where to wear a mask and all that crazy shit. But he never did that. You know what I'm saying? He said out of his own mouth, I never mandated the whole state to do it. So if anybody's doing it, you know what I'm saying, that's on them. He never did it. You know what I'm saying? There is no vaccine passports. He said it never will be. And you know what I'm saying? So if you think that that's going to happen, you know what I'm saying, you might as well put that genie in the bottle.
Did
So,
y'all hear that?
right.
From first-hand knowledge in Arizona. Did y'all hear that? Okay.
So now peep this.
Well, we did some things to get that to happen, me and my mans. We did some things to get that to happen, but what I'm just saying, people got to do the same thing.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Which is, think with the right side of their brains. That's all we're saying. You know what I mean? So now, Jay Bates says, according to Mullis himself, PCR cannot be totally and should never be used as a tool in the quote-unquote diagnosis of infectious diseases. This is the main reason why mullahs disagreed with the scientists. So now this is another scientist talking about this, to other scientists, and I think Mullis was the one that created the test. Isn't that the same guy? But then Crazy World says, remember, we were the last ones to get offered it. Now, interesting that you say that, because one, the only reason why it appeared that we were the last ones to get offered it is that because you had a whole group of other people who were already willing to get it. You understand what I'm saying? They were already willing to get it. Now, you say that, but then I can point to a video where Melinda Gates, when she did an interview with her husband about, all of this stuff, and said that we should be the first ones to get it.
Oh, I've seen that video.
Now, do you know why? Right. And the reason why they were going to do that, or that was their mindset, was because they said we were the most sickly. Meanwhile, it should, if we were the last ones to get it, that should be a blessing, because the bottom line is our bodies are much, much, much better designed to fight off things than other people's bodies are.
Okay, read the next message. This message
Then,
is for Ramel. This is for Ramel.
Okay.
He said, tell that guy on the phone. Go ahead.
Good health can't cure disease. Good health can stop you from getting disease.
What do you have to say?
It ain't got to cure it, because good health will keep you from getting disease.
Okay,
Wait.
brother.
Well, what's the? Well, okay.
He
the
said,
definition, what is good health?
right
'Cause
now,
since that was brought up, what the hell is good health?
he's
That's the
asking
question
you.
I'm asking.
He's asking you, Crazy World, what is good health?
You need to
You
call
really want me to
in,
answer this
Crazy
question? I'm gonna go in.
World. Uh-oh. Call in, Crazy World. You need to call in. Cause you
Yo, tell Crazy World to get on the phone, man. I'm not answering until he gets up here.
Get on the phone, brother. Get on the phone. Because now you have to explain what is...
You better call in, Crazy World. We're not letting you slide with all, you can stay typing in the chat, but your ass need to get on the phone.
Stop hiding behind the chat. Get on
Right,
the phone.
but look at the fact that when people's health, come on, do we really got to go into that? You know what I mean? Because that is also a virus that was created. So let's talk about the science on that. Let's talk about the science that created that.
What are you...
AIDS. He's talking about AIDS. Let's talk about you talking about science. You think, the science is supposed to be out here preventing stuff?
Do you think
Science is out here creating stuff.
Wow, you don't think that some of these conventional medicines don't have herbs in them?
What the fuck are we talking about?
Do your research.
No,
So the brother
no.
wanna
A
know-
lot of the conventional medicines have herbs in them. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say all of them, but you got some that has it.
Right.
You had some that had them.
How you gonna
In
dismiss herbs?
That's a whole fact, Raji.
Herbs is
Whole
about,
fact.
Herbs are about preventatives. It's
Hold-
about preventing it. So before it gets severe, you don't have to go to the hospital. It's all about preventative and balance. All right, peace to the guard. We got another call on the line. What's your name?
Somebody on the line?
Yeah, just hold on. Don't hang up.
I think he might have dropped. You there? You there?
He might have dropped.
He might have dropped. We can get it.
Call back
We
in?
gonna get. Shucks. Hold up.
Right. So it's about preventative. Do we not? We believe in
Alright.
science, but let me
Let
tell
me
you something.
do it like this.
We have proven to you. We have shown you that even in the medical journals, they are using they're using ghost writers to come in there to give a false narrative of their findings so that they can create medicines that is going to more than likely get you to continue to have you continue using it opposed to curing you. So that science we don't want. I keep telling you, I am walking science. My whole body is science. I am a goddess. Everything about me is science. Every atom in my body is a science. I am science. My wound, that is science. But what I'm trying to say is they want you to depend on them. Herbs are a preventative. Even if you get sick, no lie. I know I had this. I know I had Rona. Just before they came out, I was so sick. But I didn't stay sick for long. My immune system was up.
Hold on.
Peace to the gods. Peace to the gods. What's your name? Who's the caller? Peace. What's your name?
More for more. Peace, Rob.
Oh, okay.
Peace,
You said
guys.
More's for more.
I
How
was
you
just
doing?
chiming in for a quick second.
All right. Say what you got to say.
And before you say anything, I once again shout out to the chat. YG, you're absolutely right. Prevention. You know what I'm saying? Prevention from getting something and doing what's right to get your body to operate at its highest and best level will keep you healthy and keep you out of any doctor's office. So I co-sign what YG is saying. And I'll get to you in a second, J-Bay.
Outside of having a major accident, you know, other stuff.
Yeah.
J-Bay has said something. We're going to read that last comment, and then we're going to let the caller speak.
All right. J-Bay says the best way to maintain health is to preserve it through a healthful lifestyle rather than waiting until sickness or the infirmary to address health problems.
Okay. Now, do y'all agree with that statement? Because that's profound. That's very important.
So
you can't win a war. You cannot prepare for a war after it's over.
Yeah. Good. So, Kay, go ahead
Yeah.
with what you was going to say.
Well, I was going to chime in with the statement that Crazy World made because, when it comes to your health, it's like y'all said, it's about prevention, and we all know that one of the major components that cause disease is mucus. That's why we got to have a high alkaline intake to keep, so we don't have our insides having an acidic environment.
And you're right. And you're right. But a lot of people still forget what the alkaline is. You put in into your body the herbs of the field that's meant to be healing, and then your body produces the antidote, which is the same thing that when you go to one of those blood banks. It's right in front of your face. We go to the blood bank, and they all up in your hood. You know what I'm saying? These so-called black people. You know what I'm saying? These blood drives is inside your hood for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. The same thing that they taught you and they told you was nasty is the same thing that they use as medicine. Your body's the solar system within. You know what I'm saying? So
yep.
It's said for you to drink the waters out of your own cistern. And those waters out of your own cistern is alkaline.
Yep.
It's irrefutable and it's undisputable. You just got to change your mind. You know what I'm saying? And therefore you would change your reality. You know what I'm saying? Like it, love it, or believe it or not. You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying is it can't be disputed. You know what I'm saying? You're taking all these other things that you don't know nothing about. You ain't got no first-hand knowledge, but then you wasting away to cure the elixir that comes out your own dead body.
You don't know the long-term effects. I know it's hard for some people to believe that's living in this world, to believe that some people don't really rely on the doctors for anything. I know it's really hard for people to believe, but believe me when I tell you it do exist. I know a lot of people who did never step foot in a hospital before. I know one lady, the only thing she do is go to a local clinic, to a holistic doctor and get blood work. Okay? It is very possible. We have been brainwashed to rely on these people. I told you guys many shows before that when you step into a doctor's office, they're looking for you to give them information on your body. You are first-hand knowledge on your body. Now, am I dismissing science? I like some of the things that they do. But right now, in today's age, with the pharmaceutical company, how well can we trust them? Now, we had some brothers and sisters that had their own hospitals like we used to have, that was doing some real base science. You know what I'm saying? Then I'm all for having an open ear and seeing what they come up with. But these people, and everything that has happened, that has transpired since we about 2 years, March, we cannot trust this. These people have been inconsistent. It was better for them to say, listen, we don't know what the hell is going on. We got to go back to the drawing board. But they're still promoting this slabber jabber after they went on national TV. You have some countries like Australia who came on TV and said to the people, we are fortunate that we didn't have a single case of COVID, but still and yet they're probably the number one most restricted outside of China. They are protesting as we speak, and it's being censored. Okay?
Yeah.
It's being censored.
You don't even know what's. You don't even.
You said they're protesting in China, sis?
No, they're protesting in Australia right now as we speak.
In France.
And in France, I'm talking about hard body. They're out
Like they
there.
running in the streets, they fighting cops on sight, they getting it in because
They
they
know
not
it's
with
full of
they
shit.
not with the shits.
They
You know what I'm saying?
They said they know they're being lied to at this point. At this point, they're being lied to.
So what I'm saying,
It's not
crazy.
even about your freedom is one thing, but they being lied to. Like puppets.
Now, Crazy World says contracted, you healthy until. He says this happened, Apple, until this happens. Apple a day can stop. I seen healthy people contract a disease then die. Well, you know,
it's
that
possible.
right, there's some diseases out there that are deadly. You know what I'm saying?
But this ain't one.
This ain't one of them. They try to make it appear as it because their original intent was to kill off a large portion of the planet and then come and swoop in with the doggone cure or the damn remedy.
You can't-
It didn't even work out in their favor. This is why they had to then fast track a medicine that is still experimental. It's still experimental.
Right.
You know what I'm
You
saying?
got people who was already dying from cancer in hospice, and now they say they die of Rona, and everybody's saying, a lot of people were dying. Come on, get the hell out of here. This man almost was on his last breath. And then on top of that, they have mandated all doctors to not use the PCR test anymore because they can't determine the COVID from the flu. So you say to yourself, how many cases are there really if this is the case with the PCR test? How long ago has this been happening? You have to ask questions.
Remember, the hospital, ain't nobody going to get tested for COVID like that. And ain't nobody getting the vax like that. It's ain't no lines no more. There was at some point. But like I said, from what I see, it's a lot of foreigners. It's not really
Excuse me,
Americans.
brother,
But
I'm sorry. Can you let the people know where you work at? Because you are first-hand knowledge. You just said that there's not a lot of people on lines, and it was before. But even during the time that it was, you have to take a look at the media and how much of influence that they had. You got to add all that up.
yeah, but they messed around. The people who took the jab, they mess around and turn into something different. I mean, I've been hearing in North Carolina, a friend of mine that works in the jail was saying that they noticed that from the inmates to the coworkers, that once they took the jab, they would just be different. Like, and she's real particular. So she'll know, like, when somebody gets on the radio and speaks a certain way, it's like their whole demeanor changes, and I believe her. I believe her, man.
Wow.
It changes you in some type of way.
Mm-hmm.
I hear that.
It was designed for your boy. What's my man Gates? Years ago. He had put out a video where he was doing a presentation, and if you paid attention to the board, he was making it seem like the population will go up. But if you looked at the board, the bar would go down. You know what I'm saying? And he was saying that we're at the final stage where, you know what I'm saying, in code was like we want these vaccines pretty much to be as potent as possible.
Okay, you there? Peace. Peace.
Peace.
Hold on, Jet. Hold on.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm just, like I said, I don't want to see nobody go. You know what I'm saying? But you can't stop nobody from making it a decision. They feel like, your doctors is it. The doctors is it. And then my grandmama, she's from Alabama, but she live in New York. And every time I talk to her, it's one thing if you didn't know the knowledge. But my grandmama know the knowledge. And she chose to volunteer. She doesn't feel good about what she eats, and with all these medicines that she's taking and everything. But she told me how she grew up. They took turpentine. They took all these different things, heated it up, you know what I'm saying, detox your body and all this stuff. And I said, Grandma, you know what I'm saying, how you grew up and you never got sick. There wasn't no hospitals when she was coming up. She was born in the 30s, late 30s.
Hold on. Oh my God. No. Okay, sis, you there?
Peace.
Okay, hold on.
You got cut?
Hold on, give me 1 second. I gotta just switch because my phone is on one right now. So let me get okay, here we go. Alright, hold on, Ra. Here. Okay, everybody's on now, right?
Yeah, I'm here.
Peace.
Okay.
Peace. Yeah.
But I wanted to say this though. I feel like, but it seems like it's coming to a crossroads where, you are going to have to make a decision. You can't hide in the foxhole forever, and that it appears they're smoking everybody out of their foxhole. You going to either be public or private.
Yeah, you only got two choices. You always had two choices. You never. That's all you had. So, and it's a decision that most people, and you just got to sit there and face the mirror and look at yourself, because you know what I'm saying, what you feel within manifests without. You know what I'm saying, outside of you. And this is the reason why we got into this mess. You know what I'm saying, a whole bunch of our people collectively are fucked up inside. And so now you materialize what was already inside of you by losing your consciousness. and it materialized in the physical outside. So if you go back and look at all the stories from this short period of time, you know what I'm saying, it's all because collectively, as a whole, as a people, we all lost our damn mind.
Hey, peace, y'all. So,
Right.
what I got to say is Jay Bay. A lot of things is going on. Basically, a lot of stuff we covered from the beginning. You got to remember, the biggest thing that's coming up is the booster shots. The other big thing that's coming up is the flu shot. And you got to remember, all of a sudden, I was working in the hospital December 2019, so I know about the flu that we were testing for, and all of a sudden it just ceased to desist, right? So a lot of the testing that they were doing, that they were amping up for the PCR, was the flu, okay? So now they're bringing back the flu, because I think you got to remember, the flu's been going, they've been doing the flu shot for like years, at least 30 years now, at least 20 years, right?
Yeah.
So the flu shot, everybody mandatory, gotta take it. Now they took that period of time with the COVID that there's no flu, like no cases of the flu. How does that happen? Just all of a sudden it just turned off, right? So they used the COVID to scale up this whole, the PCR test to scale up the whole flu thing. A lot of people who were sick had the flu. Contrary to popular belief, a lot of people that caught the flu was really sick, just like the COVID type of thing. They were really, really sick. They had shortness of breath. We were giving them stuff like really helping them to survive. They were throwing up. They had fever. All the same stuff that's going on right now. So now that they've gotten over this, now they're saying, okay, let's introduce the flu. Maybe we can get the other half of the people with the flu shot. You got to remember, every time they do a flu, they reinvent the flu. They inject you with different stuff because you don't know what the pharmaceuticals are producing. So they're going to produce a whole new flu, and I think the whole new flu is going to be part of this whole agenda with the COVID thing. Because you got to remember, there were tests being done. They were doing experiments with the flu where they would give you the flu. So the flu is part of the live flu. But this time, now that there's technology involved, you don't know what type of flu you're getting. So what I'm saying is be on the lookout for the flu that's about to regenerate itself. Because once they start saying, oh, everybody get the flu, everybody's going to start getting the flu. So that's what people do. They just do whatever, monkey see, monkey do type of thing, right?
Question,
so I just say that's what's coming up right now. Cool.
Question, I wanted to know, are they, from what I'm seeing, is that it's like Johnson & Johnson phased out in the Moderna. It seems like Pfizer is like, the only one available.
The top dog.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing.
Well, it's crazy because these companies, these corporations are telling you which ones to take, which is, I don't understand how these people are like, okay, you just only got these two choices. And they're actually sending people notices saying, you got to be, some companies are giving by October, some companies are in September, and a lot of companies are until December, right? So they're saying, you got to take this, and these are your options. Like, imagine that. Like, you're given an ultimatum, and these are your options. And they're telling people that, religious exemptions are not, okay, what's your religion? How long have you been in it? Like, what? Your religion is your religion. But a lot of people don't know or don't understand, and this is the first time they have ever had to come against something where they had to tell somebody what their religion is. And we know better than that, right? Your religion is your religion. You got to explain that.
Yeah.
But most people who are out here in this world that's been like, marching to the drummer's beat don't know that they don't have to give no explanation as to who they serve. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of this is coming up in December. And like they said, it's going to be a dark winter. It's going to be a dark winter. I hear a lot of people talk. I'm most of the time I'm on what's that program that everybody's on? Clubhouse. And I hear a lot of people talk, and I see what they're talking about, and I see what's going on. So I just sit back and listen, because I don't really talk on there. I just sit back and listen, and a lot of stuff is coming down the pipe. A lot of people are talking about what's to come, what's going on in these different states and countries. But we just got to stick with our guns, remain vigilant, and we got to come together again, like we always said. Let's come together, make a plan, to be separate from what's going on, because it's obvious that these people are definitely pushing, their agenda. So that's all I have to say.
Can I? I'm going to say something that was she's working medical joint, so she know what's going on in that joint. But as far as when it comes down to religion, one thing people need to know, and it says it in their Constitution. You know what I'm saying? It's particularly the federal Constitution. It said that there shall not be no religious text. You know what I'm saying? If you're looking at them and they're bringing up religion, first of all, when they talk about religion is nowhere even in the books itself. You know what I'm saying? So that's a made-up group. You know what I'm saying? Because, let's see, this is cut down to the nitty-gritty. The books that we've been reading is all about degrees, right? Degrees of knowledge and understanding. None of the books itself talks about religion. So when the people say, it's against my religion, they're not talking about the United States of America, because there shall not be no religious text. That's the District of Columbia asking you stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Talking about, you got religious rights and everything, but I'm like, wait a minute, there is no such thing as religion.
Right. Well, and that's what they're using out here, and most people in this matrix, they do not understand what's going on. So they're like, oh, I need a religious exemption. Oh, but they're questioning me about, what's my religion and why are you picking a religion? You're like, what? My job is there. I have till December. I don't know what to do. I need a medical exemption, and now they're saying the doctors aren't participating. That's another thing. That most people that are not in the medical profession don't really understand what's going on in these hospitals. Like, if you were to make it into the hospital with this so-called, situation, you're going to have a big challenge on your hands. You better remain vigilant. You better really understand what you're up against, because these people will let you die. I promise you, they're gonna let you die. Yeah. So you got to do everything in your power, like we talked about before. Immunity is the best thing. There's a couple of things that I've added to the list of herbs. Mac, what's the name? Kia always talks about Mac. Mac is for lung health, respiratory health. So you want to get your NAC because it's also good for immunity. It keeps your your lung status in good shape. It has the glutathione in it, which is also for immunity. There's the pine needle tea. You need to be drinking that every day. You need to be every day putting the hydrogen peroxide on the cotton ball, cleaning out your nose, because what happens is you have what they call a viral load. And this is why, sometimes you might get exposed to the cold virus or some type of virus or whatever, but it gets into your nasal, like from droplets or aerosol, which is like if somebody sneezes or coughs. And those droplets might stay in the air 10 seconds or 20 seconds. You might walk by and you breathe it in. Boom, it's in your airway or in your nose. So you need to, every day at the end of the day, you need to take hydrogen peroxide. Well, the number one killer is the providine iodine. Providine iodine is the one that you pour on the wound, or it's also the one that they use to scrub all the germs off when they go into surgery. Any doctor, any surgery, this is what they're going to use. Providine iodine is what you clean any surface with to sterilize it. So you take the providine iodine and you make it a 1-to-1 solution. So you put it in a bottle and you put a half a bottle of providine iodine and a half a bottle of spring water or whatever. I use spring water for everything, or alkaline water for everything. I don't use faucet water for nothing. So you want to mix that. That's going to be your solution. So you can take a cotton ball or a Q-tip, dip it in there, rub it in your nails every day. That 100% kills any type of virus in your airway. Because what happens is, over 3 days, 5 days, you develop what they call a viral load, right? So the viral load is what continues to build up in your body. So the higher the viral load, the more susceptible you are to any type of viral infection. So your body, if your immune system is low, if your viral load gets to a certain level, then you will get sick and it will get into your lungs, and then that's when you have problems. If you stop it at the surface, which is your nose, this is why they're sticking shit up in your nose, and you check out whether you have it or not, is it live in your nose first. So every day, take a shower, take that swab. You can do hydrogen peroxide, full strength, or you can use the providine iodine, half and half. And you also want to gargle with it. That 100% kills coronavirus, without a doubt. I can send you like the abstract on it. It's clear as day. They've done it on patients that they have deemed to have coronavirus, and this is what kills it. So providine iodine is number one. Peroxide is number two, and any type of gargle with essential oil kills it also. So you can gargle with Listerine, with spearmint, peppermint, whatever, or you can gargle with the providine iodine, and you can clean your nose with the providine iodine, which is 100% pills every day. So these are preventive measures that we need to do. Drink green tea, pine needle tea, white pine tea, anise tea, the little star things. You can make tea out of that, drink that. That kills it. And that reduces your viral load. That way, if your immune system is up to par, you're taking your vitamin D3, at least 5,000 milligrams a day, taking your zinc at least 30 milligrams a day, and taking your vitamin C no less than 3,000 a day, you should be good. Your immune system has to be tier 1. These people that are so-called dying in the hospital, you got to remember, these are the people that didn't go to hospital last year. This is a whole other domino effect of people that did not go to the hospital, that refused to go to the hospital, that were afraid to go to the hospital, that are wearing these masks, that are decreasing their PO2 level on a daily basis. I see people, I was at the park today, it's Stone Mountain Park, it's at least 100 degrees, it felt like 100. People out there walking with N95 masks on, by themselves. This is the epidemic. This is the pandemic right here. Like, people are literally killing themselves, and they have no idea what they're doing because they're so scared and so fearful because they watch this MSNBC, CNN, and this TV and this mainstream media that is filling their heads with BS. I'm everywhere without a mask.
Right.
Since last year, 2019.
Your mouth is a filter, right? So if your mouth is a filter, what you're doing is basically inhaling all the toxins that are trying to come out. The NAC is really good,
exactly.
And we're gonna have a show that's gonna be geared just towards remedy on another day. But I want y'all to also look into B17, which is an alleviant. Not only for sure is it helpful for cancer cells, but it also is a great immune booster. It boosts your immune system. So B17 is not often spoken about, but that's something I want you guys to look up. Also is an inflammatory for pain. So look up that B17 and get your it's called Lettatril or Lettatril. I may be pronouncing that wrong, but just Google B17 and you can also just Google the benefits of it, and it'll bring it back up. But once again, the NAC, the vitamin D, and the freaking that zinc is something that you need to have in your cabinets at all times. Like, we take the zinc and every day. I don't skip a day.
Yes.
Sometimes I do alternates when I'm like, I've done it for like 2 weeks or whatever, and I just take the NAC. I do have a combination that I take, which is the Bladderwrack, the Chondrus crispus, and what is the other thing, the ingredient there? Bladderwrack, something else would it be?
Bladderwrack,
burdock root. And Chondrus crispus all together. That's another capsule that I take. But there's remedy out there to keep that immune system up. But we, Jessica...
there's one more, Kia, one more that's very, 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 very vital. It's the quercetin. Quer, I think it's CTIN, quercetin. Please add that to your arsenal. That helping with the 5G, the what you call it, the oxide, the graphene.
It's
Graphene
called
oxide for people that have taken it.
QURI. What did you say it was?
Quercetin.
Oh.
QUERCETIN. I think that's how it's spelled. Hold on. Yeah, quercetin. That's a very powerful.
QUERCET. Can you put it in the chat? Yeah.
It's
That's
a very I'll put it in the chat. It's a very, very powerful antioxidant. Please, antioxidants are major for preventing any autoimmune disorder. This shot is an autoimmune altering technology. That's what it's built for. That's what it's for. It's for them to treat cancer and HIV and any autoimmune disease. So if you take it, this is the reason why people are dying, because it's an autoimmune disease technology. It's for that.
Right.
So when you take it, your immune system got to be tight.
And
so
the Quercetin was, I'm going to put it in the chat now. That was something that a lot of doctors... QUERCETIN. Yeah, we'll put it in the chat. I have it.
That's what it's for.
It's a plant pigment, and it's found in many plants and foods. But that's something that a lot of these doctors were saying that they were treating some of their patients with alone, or the hydrochloroquine. And once again, this just goes unnoticed. But my thing is, I don't want you guys to leave out of here and say, oh, I've been taking these things and they're not working. We also mentioned that if you are very clogged up, all right, you're very clogged up, your arteries are clogged up, you have a lot of inflammation and stuff, you have to detox, because these medicines will just go right through and just go right out instead of absorbing where it needs to absorb at. So you have to take that into consideration as well. If you are overinflamed, you're overweight, or you're unhealthy, whatever the case might be,
are you stressed out?
Or
stress is a major precursor. Stress.
Yeah, stress is very. Boy, I tell you. So, so once again, stay mobile. Even if you have to do jumping jacks every once in a while, whatever the case might be. I have created a spray, for people who want to use the mask, but at least if they're spraying it, and there's an anti-inflammatory and antioxidant when you're putting a little bit of certain ingredients like eucalyptus or like oregano oil, peppermint and stuff like that with a little bit of alcohol, it kind of is going to cleanse out all of the toxins that that you have going in and out during the process of, or during the course of you having the mask on all day. So you have to just create remedies for yourself. I really salute the people who, are working, who are standing their ground.
You just dipped off this shit. You know what I'm saying? You talking about, y'all had to see what she just did just now. Oh my God, that shit is hilarious, B. That shit is hilarious.
I'm done for the night.
Alright, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna get ready to shut it down.
Yes.
We appreciate everybody that chimed in. Shout out to you, Ramel. Shout out to UK. Shout out to you, Jet. As usual. We appreciate all of y'all input. Shout out to Afisha, one of our moderators. Shout out to Nuba. All of y'all input was very, very appreciated. Shout out to you, Crazy World, because you, my brother, are going to make a nigga dig for the answers and do everything in his power to show you what it is. You know what I'm saying? So we appreciate y'all. Yeah, let me get to some of the people that was on there. Shout out to the co-host YG in the building. Shout out to Eugenio. Shout out to I'm getting tongue tied. Shout out, believe it. Shout out to Ann J. Shout out to Mr. Holmes. Shout out to brother Ralim L. I mean, y'all came up with a great deal of insight. Shout out to Noble Day, my brother. Who else? Shout out to DJ Morano. Shout out to Ronald Jarvis. We appreciate all of y'all. You know what I mean? Without y'all chiming in, giving out some great insight, posing some dope questions, and sometimes going a little overboard to make us, have to check our own temperatures. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't be such a great conversation. You know what I mean? So we appreciate all of that. Check us out on Sunday, on the Sunday build, where we can get a lot more personal. I can pull up receipts, and we can really get into a real different kind of discussion.
Uncensored.
Yeah, very uncensored. This is the censored version. You know what I mean? And we definitely have the uncensored version as well. So definitely get up with us on that. If you need to get an invite, just send an email to House of Harlem TV at gmail.com, and we'll get you on the weekly email blast list. And for my moderators, for all of you guys in the chat and the audience that participated, for the co-host YG, for the hostess with the mostest Kia L, and for you guys that chimed in on the phone, we're gonna say peace to the gods. We'll see y'all next Thursday, and for those who really about that life, we'll see y'all this Sunday as well. All right, peace to the gods, everybody.
Peace to the gods.
Yeah, cause you was going and you was talking to the phone very passionately. You was talking to the phone you was talking to your phone very passionately, like you was about to go in. You was getting comfortable.